welcome to Shovel Knight. This is a short, relatively short Let's Play that I'm doing for the casual thread, which I have just reopened. And to announce its reopening, I figured I may as well put some content in it to start everything off. But also I hope to have this LP archived in some way other than that, maybe just on my YouTube channel. But I figure this is a good game to open it up with because it's pretty relaxed, you know. It's got that nice retro feel to it. If you've never seen this game, it's actually really good. It faithfully recreates the limitations of the NES palette and whatnot, and it's a good game about beating up knights with a shovel as a knight who also has a shovel. So let's just get started. You can see I already have a couple of save files here. I really like this game, so I've played it a couple times already. But we're just gonna be starting a new file. Of course, I have to name myself appropriately for the playthrough at hand. You know, everything's gotta serve its purpose. Hell yeah, there we go. Let's get started. It's shoveling time. Hey, all right. Well, that was a pretty somber opening. In the background there, you can see our destination, the cursed tower. It's gonna be a long road before we get there, so let's get used to the mechanics of Shovel Knight first of all. It's actually pretty simple. All you can really do is jump and shovel, and that's actually all you really need to do, to be honest. The whole game is basically built around that, which I really appreciate, actually. I really like that they have, they stuck with a couple of mechanics which they then elaborated on and, you know, tweaked until it works perfectly. Like, even down to how Shovel Knight moves. Like, he doesn't have any ramp up or down when he's running. He's always got one consistent speed, so you always know where you're going to land when you jump. And there's a very short delay, a la Simon in Castlevania, before you swing your shovel. So you kind of have to, it adds like a little layer of strategy to it a little bit, where you have to get the timing just right. And here we have our first major obstacle, a bubble. And you can see we can just bounce on that. Really, you can bounce on anything, actually. Enemies, objects on the ground, all that kind of stuff. But it's only really useful in platforming and combat. There isn't really much practical use for it, but it is pretty cool. I like Shovel Knight's horns. They serve functionally no purpose, but they look cool. So why not have them, you know? Oh, jeez. Well, there goes my no-hit run. So this game works in the same way like Mega Man does, where it's a screen-based game where they occasionally have mini bosses and such that you'll have to defeat. Like that dragon we just murdered the hell out of. And I mean, he exploded into treasure, so it was pretty much worth it in my book. I like the music in this game. It's got a very, very high intensity. The developers really emphasized that all of the music in this game could be composed on a real NES chipset, which I think is very interesting. This game, in case you haven't ever heard of it, was developed on... Well, okay. It started off as a Kickstarter, and then way outpaced its goal by like $500,000, and it got turned into a very large project where the developers wanted to faithfully recreate the gameplay and limitations of the original NES, and I think they did a good job of that. This game it's kind of a combination of Castlevania mixed with DuckTales, with its own like unique aesthetic, which I think is kind of cool. I think they found a good mixture of their own modernized aesthetics with the classic gameplay design and principles of old school video games. Now, I mentioned when I was starting the game a minute ago that this LP is for the casual thread on Something Awful, which just reopened. It was originally called the 2007 thread, created by Something Awful member Future Friend, who decided after a year or so that the thread had run its course because it was getting kind of old. And I don't blame him, because it was like 60 pages long. But I decided to remake the thread because I think that Let's Plays that don't have a huge amount of effort behind them have just the same amount of place as ones that do on the sub-forum. This one that I'm doing right now is an example of, I guess, the higher end of what I would say belongs in the casual thread, because I'm doing a Let's Play of a game that I've played before, which is definitely not a requirement, and in order to give myself a lot to talk about, because, I mean, it's just a platforming game, mostly, I know a lot about the game and such, and that is why I would say it's on the upper spectrum of quote-unquote casual, because it's kind of informal, in a little bit of a way. Like, this is live commentary, so if I die, you're gonna hear me say fuck and whatever, but, and also you're gonna hear me say a lot, because that's just how I talk. But it doesn't have, basically what I'm saying is that it doesn't have to be like this. You know, Let's Plays take on a whole lot of different forms, and this is just one of those forms where it's a mixture of casual and informative. And the basic purpose of the thread is, if you don't want to make a thread for your Let's Play, that's a place for you to put it while still posting it. That's the basic gist of it. But it's also nice for shorter Let's Plays like this one. This is only going to be a couple parts long because it's not an extremely long game. If you don't die a whole bunch. Whoop, almost died there, actually. It's not that hard of a game. Tentatively. It's not that hard of a game right now, so this LP is going to be kind of short, which is perfect because a normal thread made for a game that will be this short of a Let's Play wouldn't live up to very much potential because, you know, it would only be 1 or 2 pages long, and that's fine. That's not against the rules in the sub-forum or anything like that. But sometimes it's better to have it posted alongside other Let's Plays instead of creating its own thread for it. But I'm going to stop talking about that now because this LP is about Shovel Knight. I just felt like explaining that in video form. It's in the OP of the thread as well, but you know, in case you skipped over that to get right to the video post or whatever in the table of contents. I really like the parallax scrolling they have going on in the background. I don't know if the NES could do that, but it's still pretty cool. Oh no. Black Knight. Hey, it's time for a boss fight. Oh my god, it's Black Knight. I think this is actually a pretty good, introduction to boss fights because he's pretty much on even ground with you. He's got like a single projectile attack, but other than that, he's got the exact same attacks you do. And I think that's kind of cool because it tests the abilities that we've learned throughout the intro stage. But also, it's an important introduction to how much health bosses have, because you can see that he takes twice as many hits as we do. And I actually might die against him, because he does, some of his attacks do one full block, and that's hard. That's hard for the first boss. But it's a good intro, actually, I think. Oh, yup. So close. So you have infinite lives in Shovel Knight. The only thing you lose when you die is gold, and you can pick a big portion of that back up in these floating bags. And once you do that, it gets added mostly back to your total. I forget how much is subtracted. Because, they have to have some penalty for actually dying. The trouble with this mechanic comes when you fall into a fucking bottomless pit, of which there are many because this is a platformer. Nah! No, fuck off! It's easy to get... Oh, I beat him, hey! It's easy to get caught up in the fun of this game. It's just fun to play. They really refined the mechanics a lot. There's a lot of heart and soul put into this game. Oh, well, there he goes. Just celebrate that victory, Shovel Knight, while your adversary runs away. Oh no, Shield Knight. Okay, sure. Ha! So you don't actually get or lose anything for catching or not catching Shield Knight. It's it's just kind of cool. It's just a way to prove your devotion to your friend, And that is the first stage of Shovel Knight. I don't know how I'm going to split these videos up. I guess I'll just split it up wherever I feel like it. But we have unlocked our first two Order of No Quarter stages. They're basically like the Mega Man stages where you go to the stage and then at the end there's the relevant stage boss. And in the stage you can collect items and whatever to help you out with other areas. And I don't remember if you can replay stages. I think you can. But, and then you can come back later with your abilities and get more treasure. But first, let's take a scenic trip through the village. Thanks for letting me know. So yeah, this is the village. We can talk to anybody. Okay. They sometimes have funny things to say. This guy's actually got a really important gameplay tip. It's actually pretty important to remember that. That this guy here, with the lute, is one of the most important NPCs. He plays music. So, now that we've given this guy the collectible music sheet we picked up in the stage that we just played, we can have him play it for us anytime we're in the village. But I'm just going to leave the village music playing. So we're not going to talk to these two right now, but basically they are how we upgrade our Shovel Knight stats. Basically, we can give this guy meal tickets, and he will upgrade our health, and we can give this lady, I think she just takes money, and she will upgrade the amount of magic we have. If we talk to this guy, he will let us buy his meal ticket. Sure. Thanks, pal. Okay. Something I like about this guy is that every time he makes you a meal, it's a different, delicious-looking meal. This time it's like some kind of like calamari, I think, kind of thing? I don't know. But it upgrades our health another orb, so we want to use that. Forgive me if my voice is hoarse. I'm getting I'm getting kind of sick, which is a great time to be doing a Let's Play. Actually, once you're feeling ill, which is why I'm trying to get this out of the way before I get sick, because you know, the winter season's coming in, man, and it's coming in full force. Thank you, Croaker. Who the hell is the Triple King? Trowple King, sorry. Oh my god, Jesus Christ, calm down, man. Yeah, I'll take a chalice, why not? Thanks, I guess. How about you, buddy? What you got? Fishing rod and a chaos sphere. We don't have very much money right now, so we're gonna pass on these. But those are called relics? They're special items, basically, that allow you to use your magic to use special effects out in the field. Cool. Oh man, I love treasure. I've got 3,714 treasure right now. Wow. Hey, cool. Alright, thanks, lady. Oh, cool. Glad she's keeping track of that. That's right, we are 17 minutes in. No, those are actually really useful. Huh? Those are really useless facts, actually. Oh my god, it's Grandma Swamp. Hello. Oh god. This minigame is actually pretty hard. If you're like me and are bad at timing, this can actually be really difficult. Huh. Crap. I'm just like, I was never good at the Castlevania style of like timing. What you want to do is hit it towards those red ones, because they give 10, but I'm not good enough at this to do that. I'm doing really poorly here, by the way. If you ever play this game, which you should because it's very good, don't do what I just did. Cool, thanks. I did kind of wreck that lady's solitude. I did just bust down the door. That was possibly a little bit rude of me. It's not a stick. In fact, it is the opposite of a stick. But okay, sure. Let's do it. What have you got, buddy? Okay. Oh, not you, kid. Yep. I'm Shovel Knight. Excuse me. I'm not just any Shovel Knight. I'm the Shovel Knight. The one and only. There's only one knight with a shovel around here. Definitely no Black Knights who also have shovels. Don't know what you're talking about. So let's visit the Troupple Pond, see what's going on. Oh my god. It's the Troupple King. Ichor. So the Troupple King, when we have an empty chalice, we can visit him, and we can have him fill up one of the chalices with attracting treasure, becoming invincible, or refilling all our health. And I'm going to go with that one, because it's probably the most useful to me when I'm this early in the game. Alright, thanks, Troupple King. I love this game. It just puts a smile on my face.